Wow. Okay. Well, we have a zero playing to zero people right now, but that's okay. Um, Everybody went away. I'm going to try to get Alex back up here. And let's see if I can. I'm going to try to email him and see if he'll be able to come back up. I got 4 people online now. Give me a second here. There we go. There we go. All right. Alex, I'm sorry
So,
about that. The
no,
whole internet just dropped out here.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
man, I get that's one of the pitfalls of live television or live internet is you're at the mercy of your internet provider, and when they drop out, man, it's
yeah,
it's done.
yeah.
So anyway, you were telling us before we were so rudely interrupted by uh, by my internet provider. You you were telling us about your inspiration to come up with the Alex Loop and make it a business.
Okay. Uh, as I told you, I have acted for 60 years that I am a radio. And my passion was directed to portable operation, to outdoors operation, to go in beautiful places. We have beautiful mountains, we have beautiful beaches here in Brazil. So to play with radio on mountains and so far and so I my first experience was modify citizens band radio to 10 meters and make a whip and install a battery on it on a Sony videotape recorder. Look, we are talking about now 50 years ago, to sell batteries inside on a box with a whip, and this thing have a belt. I made a belt to carry the radio to have portable communication. So I have fascinated with portable communications for all my life, and was trying to improve each time the way to make radio. And I was a little bit confused with the antennas that I have made, that I need to select the taps. And then if I approximate my hand a little bit, I have a detuning and I go back and I need to tune this counterpoise either. So I have decided to study the magnetic loops antenna, no, loop antennas that exist for more than 100 years. The magnetic loops are a very old technology, and what have decided was to bring it to a portable world. I have the very first one that have the concept of the magnetic loop antenna, and make it a real portable and light and easy to carry device, so you can make radio anytime, anywhere. Only open a bag and put one piece, another piece, and you're ready to go in 90 seconds. Basically, I am a lawyer. I was graduated lawyer, but have never gone to the tribunes. My history is that I've been on 72 in United States, making some training school in Quinter Electronics and New Jersey, and Aerocom, that's avionics company, aviation electronics company. I have worked with Texas Instruments, and the company that I have worked for have enormous quantity of companies in the United States, and I have sent there to make some training school, as I told you. But the pleasure that I have is go out to make portable radio. This is from a little boy since now, and trying to improve every time the type of antenna that I was using. It took me around 15 years to develop the Alex Loop. 15 years making. On this time, I couldn't have forums of nothing written at internet. There is nothing, only libraries on universities, and talk to professionals on antennas to know about. And the very first time that I have been in Dayton Convention was from this video that I saw there. Nobody knows about this circle antenna over there. What thing was that? Nobody knows. Only me and my friends that I have traveled with knows that it was a portable magnetic loop antenna. And the things every time I think 24 hours a day on ways to improve and to make better. And as I told you before, the all the things that I have imagined to improve a magnetic loop antenna was incorporated on this new model. Okay, so this is a passion, pure passion. I have worked for great companies. I have worked to Sony, to Toshiba, and I have get out of this. I have my own store on a shopping mall here in Brazil. Then I stopped there to dedicate only to the Alexloop. I have developed all my professional life was directed to this antenna. So impressed I was with the results that I have. I was very impressed because I was having the pleasure to make many contacts with very far from antennas for hams using a very small antenna. This was the reason I became passionate by and still I am very passionate because every time I go out, I have another surprise. Actually, the propagation is very bad. So you can't make miracles in any antennas unless you have a great beam, a great antenna, and a fantastic location. But in other ways, I think that the propagation is starting to get better now. And I think for 1 year or some months, we will be having great surprises. Okay, Bob.
Okay, that's awesome. That is what a fantastic story. Um, you're a lawyer by trade. You're not an engineer, not a technical guy. Um, other than you were just you were just drawn to this kind of thing as a kid.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah. This is a great pleasure. Make toys. This is the good thing of the life.
it is. That's cool. Um, so tell us, as the guy who basically invented the Alex loop, but you didn't invent the magnetic loop. What is the basic principle of a magnetic loop as opposed to, say, a dipole or an end-fed half-wave antenna?
Okay, the very first thing that is very impressive in the magnetic loop antenna is that it's a very high Q antenna.
And
It
what
is
does
a
that mean? What does high Q mean?
high Q. Okay, Q is the factor, is the let's say the Q factor. I don't what is, but I don't know how to translate in English what it is. Is the merit factor. Okay, is the merit factor, the factor of merit. So this is transform the loop on a very efficient antenna when you tune exactly on the frequency that you have, because the high Q turn the magnetic loop on a very sharp antenna in tuning, and it's very narrow. So the great advantage that you can reject some signals that comes out of the exact frequency that you are tuned. This is very interesting. The other thing is the possibility that you can turn it from one side to other. It's not very sharp, the angle. You can consider more or less 45 degrees, more or less like this, 45. Okay, so you can turn it, and many times you can kill noisy sources. If you kill noisy sources, you have a better signal to listen. And sometimes, yeah, when you kill the noisy sources, you can have a better reception and talk to the guy. This is the great advantage of it. And it's light and it's portable, and it can work perfectly well only 3 feet above the ground. Talking about the dimensions of the Alexloop, you can talk perfectly well, have the maximum efficiency only 3 feet above the ground.
Very interesting. I have another little video that I want to play, and then I want to ask you some questions about it. Um, let's go ahead and play this one. Track 2 from Alex.
It's PY1 Alpha Hotel Delta Alex. This is the device. I have all the group here. All the system that I have is here on the palm of my hand. I have here the Alexloop. It's very light one with Alexloop. Covers from 7 megahertz to 30 megahertz. I have here the KX2, this marvelous radio. I have here a speaker mic. I have a speaker, a loudspeaker with a amplifier inside and a microphone that I speak on here. And I have here the total control of the radio with this device here. And as you can see, I can have the up, you can see the display, the down button, and I have the push to talk button here. On the back, I have this side here, the band. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. It's PY1 AHD January 19. Bye bye, thank you very much.
Okay, so my big question for that is we've all been taught you don't want to be in the near field of the antenna. I always try to back away from my Alexloop or any of my loop antennas as I'm tuning them. I don't like to, because I could see that I change the tuning of it, or I change the cue. If I'm too near, or if I get away, it affects the antenna. So how does what I just saw there? How does that work?
I would like to repeat your question because it's not. I couldn't understand very clear. May you do this?
Yes, yes. The video that we just saw, you were holding the radio and the antenna, and how do you adjust for getting in the near field? Do you understand? I don't know how to say it in Portuguese or anything. The near field of the antenna, when you're too close and it affects the tuning. How does that work?
Okay. Specifically on this antenna, I don't have this kind of problem. Normally, if I want to tune it, I can't reach the button. I can't reach the tuning button. So I take it. I press I press 2 seconds the XMT button of the KX2. Okay, I press it, and then I have an Alex tune installed on it, and I tune it. I have the maximum brightness. At this point, I am here, and I could not feel any detuning if I have proximity of my head. So the only thing to do if this fine kind of thing occurs is put in transmit and adjust if I am too close of the antenna. But I don't have a significant tuning on the antenna because it goes a little bit above my head. So when I hold it, you know, so I am the antenna is on the top of my head. It's not directly on my face. This is the point. So I have no trouble in tuning it. But this is not a commercial model. This is one of near 40 models, 40 models that I have on all the places of my home. The models that I have done along this 20 years that I have made, they are completely different one for the other, following the same concept, of course. But I have, for example, the Coke loop. the Coke look made me make me very famous in Japan and Germany and in United States, either Dayton Convention and Pacific Con, because I have carried when I started my manufacturing career. You know, I am a one man manufacturer business. What you think in the behind me is one of the rooms that I have stolen for my child that get married, and have transformed my apartment on some kind of money or factory that I have separate places that I can do the things. Okay, so I have many models that I have made. The Coke Loop, if you want to check the Coke Loop, you'll see that I have developed a completely different using hydraulics with water, with syringes with water. So I'm talking you about this because is not a commercial model. So I have on my site, I have many remote control systems that are not commercial. I am working till all the zeal to develop a very reliable electronic system for the variable capacitor. There is a lot of manufacturers that put systems to sell and have take it off of market some after some time, but because I need to reproduce exactly on control the system that I feel it has the same that I am on the tuning box of the antenna. I need to control by hand the set. When I achieve this point, I will be ready to put the antenna on the market. So I have many things in course, you know, online to make.
Ah, very interesting. So you've got a lot of prototype antenna tuners and holders and all kinds of stuff that you're just dreaming up. I think that is fantastic, and and I guess very few of them actually make it to market. Very few.
Uh, you have made a question. What you about the market you talk?
Um,
What you?
so out of all the prototypes that you build, I guess very few of them actually make it to the market.
Oh yeah. Of course, of course. I have many ideas, but sometimes it's not working exactly the way that I would like to have. Many times the client, the people they say a prototype, the friends that I have, they say it's fantastic. Oh, it's not. It's good for the guy, but it's not the good enough for me. You know, I need to have the thing that make me happy with the results, and this is the point.
Okay. So we have I've got a question here from Scott K0WAV. Any plans for a remote tuner or more permanent installation, i.e., a roof mount and being able to tune from the shack?
Yes, if you go to my webpage, you will see a prototype of antenna with a tuning system that is all the tuning system is mounted inside a mouse, a three buttons mouse. I have put all the electronic inside of it, nothing more outside, and I can use this mouse to control. This is an example of the unit. I have another one who is mounted. You know these lights that goes outdoor, security lamps that when somebody pass by it, it turns on. I took this cabinet and put inside a variable capacitor with a motor that puts up and down the windows, the glasses of the cars, on the doors, the remote system to up and down the glass of the windows of the cars. It's a very flat motor, and all the system is mounted on plastic. something like this. And I have this antenna on my website either. Are some models that I think that I have done and deserve an article on my webpage. I put there, but the real professional system I am working for a long time. A long time. I have no. I have at least 10 prototypes of remote tuning systems. I don't know if one of them here. Let me take one here to show you that one of the work that I have.
Okay. And let's see, while we're waiting for Alex there to get back.
I'm I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not at the reach of my hand. You know,
Ah,
it, it's not at the reach of my hand now. But since I show you one of the prototypes that I was being done, yeah, I am working in.
okay. That's okay. Let me, let's come in here and let's see. So, your company, do you have any employees or is this still all you?
No, I do not. I do not have any employees. The only person that helps me is my wife. My wife sometimes works with me making the antennas and simple task. No, no, of course, no soldering, no stuff, but coordinating, putting the antennas on the bags and making the flyers to go inside something this well, let's have this light work I pass to my wife.
Ah, very cool. That's that's awesome. Now, I assume that you have to have somebody make the plastic parts for the outside. So you or do you do that yourself also?
Now, okay, well, I have some companies that I have in Brazil. For example, the first 200 the first 200 Alexloop hand pack, they practically was all made by hand by myself. I think to drill the all the parts, to put the capacitor and all the things. And now I see I have problems doing this because it takes me a lot of time to fine tuning the holes and this thing to the point it goes to the right part and was terrible. I have lost a lot of time. But on these ones that I am selling now, I have ordered to a company make with by CNC is a completely robotic drilling system. You know, it's much more easier to work and the most important is very precise to me. Okay.
Ah, very very cool. Let's see. So you've I'm gonna break out my Alex mic here. You built the Alex mic a few years back, and this thing works very very well on the KX2 and the KX3, and and thank you for doing that.
Okay.
But now, in the last couple of years, the the ICOM 705 has kind of taken over center stage for a lot of hams coming into the active. I call it active ham radio, where you're out doing POTA, SOTA, or vacation operating. And I'm wondering if you are considering updating the Alex mic to work with the 705.
Okay. The history on the Alex mic I put on the market in 2017. And the problem, I don't know why I have lost all my contact with the factory that it was making the Alex mic for me in China since the beginning of the pandemic. pandemic. I don't know why, because we lost completely, and I want our communication. I was obligation to give a break, a stop, to see, to check for another manufacturer that can replicate. The very first one I have made on a very big type of PTT microphones used on police cars to communicate by radio. It's a big one and was enough place to put a big loudspeaker, 2 inches loudspeaker, and was I put the amplifier, I made the charger, I made the put the microphone. When I have all this prototype ready to go, I sent to China to a guy over there, and who starts to produce to me. Of course, giving all the beauty and the perfection of the mold, everything to be a very beautiful product and very good in quality. But unfortunately, I don't know why, since the beginning of 2019, have no more contact with them.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's
Yeah,
because the
too
Alex
bad.
mic is really, that was a great product. I thought that was a fantastic product because it really amplified the the voice on the other end. Is when you're outside and you don't want to have headphones on, or you don't want to have earphones in your ears, uh, or, or you want your friends to be able to also listen to what's going on. Um, so, well, hopefully you could make another contact in
Yeah, I
China
knew this.
and get something else going there.
Hmm.
Uh, let's see. Uh, I, I have to go back to the first video that we looked at the beginning of the show,
Hmm.
and um, and that new Alexloop control box. That is fantastic looking. Can you show that to us? And can you show us a little bit about what's been updated?
Let me show here. I have here the the bag here. Oh, let me see here. Here we go. We have here the Alex backpack, and if you open it, I have here the transceiver bag, and then down I have the accessories bag. I'll take the first one here. Okay, I take second here, and I have the antenna. I will take the antenna here. So sorry I put here to be more easy to do this.
It's actually a very cool backpack. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, yeah, and the colors of it, it's in combination of the Alex loop, as black with orange. I love this combination.
Yeah, I do too.
And
And let
uh huh,
me jump over here and show you guys just for comparison the original Alex Loop
yeah,
box.
yes.
So,
I have here the scale,
mhm.
and you can see perfectly,
So you
and
pretty
here the
much know
pointer.
where you're going to be tuning before you tune it, which I really like because this didn't give you any visual cues as to when you're close. And you would,
Yeah,
I would, I would start all the way over at one end and just work my way over until it got halfway close.
yeah, yeah.
And that
And the
has an
key,
Alex tune built into it.
yeah, I do. It's here on this part here
Very good. So,
on the top.
the bigger knob, do you have a reduction knob so it's
Yeah.
not as touchy when you get
Mm,
to the right place?
mm,
Or
no, no, it's not touch. It's no touch. It's very easy. You can see the light from the completely out to go to brightest and then go down either. So it's very easy, very easy to turn. For all the people that was saying that the magnetic loop are fantastic but very difficult to tune, this time is over, no more problem. This one is very easy to tune, and there's no comparison with nothing available on the market.
That is fantastic. Okay, we got another question from the gallery
Yeah.
here. How does the antenna behave when it is installed behind the apartment balcony?
You were talking behind the apartment. Behind this, on the back part, I think there is an apartment in front of antenna. Well, let me say that it's completely imprevisible to me to give any expectation about the results when you are on the block. And as you know, antennas were made, was conceived to work on free space, outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to Heham and see Alexloop over there are people telling you unbelievable histories of successful operation inside the apartment side on a balcony. It's impossible to me to predict how the Alexloop will work on your case. But what made me very happy, it was made in the Alex Loop and received a lot of emails and a lot of reviews on Eham about people that was not more able to put external radios and could come back to the ham radio world using the Alex Loop. So many people who was prohibited to put antennas can stay making radio with the Alex Loop. I don't know how successful they can be because I cannot make any a prevision about how it works on this specific location. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Another question from Chris here. How directional is the Alex loop?
The direction is on the. Let's say this is the coaxial cable. The direction is this one of the coaxial cable. This is direction. Okay, when you have it in vertical. On this point, you have a, uh, uh, horizontal polarization. Yes. Okay. This is you have a horizontal polarization, and like a dipole antenna, and you can when you turn it, you have more or less 45 degrees, more or less of coverage. It's not sharp as a beam as a cubic quad antenna. It's very wide, something like 30 to 45 degrees.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Let's see. Let me see if there's any more questions in the gallery portion. We got 34 people right now on the stream. I guess that's pretty good considering that it died right in the middle. 27 thumbs up. I'd like to get some more thumbs up. And let's see. I don't see any questions in the gallery. Do you have any new products on the horizon?
The products that are arising that I'm working for a long time on them are a remote tuning system. I am working on this for a long time to make the most perfect possible tuning system. Because I say to all the people, the most easy thing to do is to put a motor on the shaft of a real capacitor and turn it up and down. It's easy to do, no secret. But the most difficult thing to do is to precisely adjust the capacitor because on a magnetic loop dual, the very high Q, when you have something like half of degree of movement, you can go for 12 to 15 meters, for example. Something a very, very little movement. You can be complete 500 kilohertz, 1 megahertz ahead. So this is a very difficult task, and I'm working this for a long time, and it's responsible to, for example, to lose 90% of my hair. This is not the reason.
Okay. Let's see. Eddie asks, what kind of power will the Alex Loop handle?
The Alexloop power will support 25 watts single side band or 10 watts AM, FM, CW, and digital modes.
Okay. Very good. Um, all right. I kind of want to get your thoughts from South America, from Brazil. Um, where do you see ham radio fitting into the future of the world? Do you see it growing, declining, and how do we encourage the next generation of ham radio operators?
Okay, I will give you an example. One of the most creative ideas that I have heard about occurs in Argentina. Argentina is a country that is a border from Brazil, the south part of South America. And the hams in Argentina have, some years ago, have a great idea, a fantastic idea. What they have done? They went to make a schedule, went to schools, and all the schools that joined the experience this day have worked together, and a group of hams goes to each of these schools, puts on a station, a dipole, a simple antenna. The idea is keep it as simple as possible. A transceiver and a power supply. They went there with some antecedents, put on the antenna. The boys was following, the girls and boys following this, around 12 to 15, 18 years old, was following this. And one day, all they combine it, or they have a date, put on a date that will be on the air at one day at one time. And all these schools was mounted with one or two hams inside of with in front of each stations, and all of them would work at the same time. This results on incredible excitations on the boys and girls, seeing that these people was talking direct by air. Actually, they have the cell phones. Okay, great. But they do not imagine that they can talk to each other directly or reflecting the signals at the ionosphere that could reflect the signals throughout the country. When you told them about the history, they do not depend on the cellular phones networks and no other kind of technical solutions, sophisticated and up-to-date solutions. And they use a very basic way to make communications how our ancestors has made. Makes a great impact on the child. And they need to know that the ham radio was the very first social media network. 100 years ago, there was a lot of hams talking each other with radios exactly now. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yes. Yes. Um, now I know in the U.S., the kids now, they're very, very dependent and very attached to their cell phones. Is it the same in Rio? Is it are they more apt to go outside and do kid things, or Is it pretty much worldwide that the kids are attached to those cell phones and not getting into things like radio communications?
Yes, the same here. I think this is a thing of all the world. All the people have created a great dependence on the cell phones. I think they can't resist 48 hours without a cell phone. The people can get many people can get crazy if they stay 48 hours without a phone. And the same with child. For example, I have two grandchilds. October 12th, Watch Child Day. I have a granddaughter from 8 years old and a grandson with 3 years old. They asked for the child day a tablet. So both of them have a tablet. My granddaughter, 8 years old, my granddaughter, my 3 years old grand grand grandson. So that's the way the world goes. And I have my personal feelings about the cell phone. The cell phone is one thing that can take the most focused people to get out of the focus. It's some you go to a store and the guy stay there on the cell phone and give you no attention to you. And I think the standard way to sell products on shopping malls and stores are very impacted with the results of the sales, because many times you go and nobody gives you attention. They are on the phone all the time, and it's very bad.
Yes. Okay. I got another question here from the fire guy. Is the tuning capacitor an air or vacuum variable?
The tuning capacitor may be uh, any capacitor. You can make a capacitor with sliding PC boards. I have on my web page. With sliding PC boards, you can make a capacitor. You can use a metal hair variable capacitor. They may be a butterfly one, a standard one, or a split starter one. Split starter when you have one group of plates going inside and they'll going out. You may have a split side or a vacuum capacitor. Vacuum capacitor are very good because they support very much power than the standard ones. And the other great advantage, and I have some of them that make 25, 28 turns from to cover, for example, 7 to 30 megahertz. So we have, let's see, if you talk about 20 turns, we are talking about 7,200 degrees. So remember what I said before, that on a very many space on movement on a standard capacitor, you are completely out of the band. When you have a capacitor with 20 turns, you multiply 360 plus 20, you will see 7,200. It's much easier to tune a vacuum capacitor than tuning a standard metal capacitor with the vein that goes inside and outside.
Very, very great explanation. I almost understood it. And I'm not, you know me, I'm not a technical guy. My friend Kent, he says cell phones are for talking to friends. Ham radio is for making friends, and that is such a great thing. Anyway, we are up at on the hour, and so that does kind of complete lunch. I know. Let's see, Anton here in Moscow. He says in Moscow, the RU, it's actually the same thing that the kids are on the cell phones constantly. So I guess it's pretty much a worldwide uh, deal that the kids are there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyway, Alex, again, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today. This was a lot of fun talking to you, catching up because I haven't seen you at PacificCon now for what? It's probably been 2 or 3 years at
Yeah.
least. Yeah, because they haven't had it. Didn't have it in 20. I'm not going this year. Are you going to PacificCon?
Mm, I don't. No, no, I will not go. I have
Okay.
not gone because last October I have not go. I am trying to go to Dayton. Let's say, but some people are talking that in Europe the things are getting worse now, and I normally goes from 10 years to the Friedrichshafen show in Germany. uh, Man, I am suffering a little bit because, for example, this Alexloop hand pack would be fantastic to be shown live on a booth. The impact, the visual impact of it will be fabulous, fabulous. Couldn't have this opportunity yet, to
Yes,
show
yes.
live for the people.
Well, you know what? I'll order one. Whoa, hang on. Where'd my camera go? It died. You gotta be kidding me. Hang on. I gotta bring my camera back.
Okay, you come back.
Yeah. Okay, and then I gotta focus it. Focus, focus, focus. Gotta love. It's like the electrical grid. Everything's against me today. Just wants me to fail today. Okay. Let's see. I think that's about it. Do you have anything else for the people watching at home?
The only thing that I would like to say, the great thing is to thank you very much the minutes to spend to support my terrible bad English, and I hope that you have take any result of this our talk, that you have learned something, and any problem, any question that you have, please feel free to send me an email. I have an email on my page of the internet of the articles that I write. I have on the lower part my email. So I am on a total disposition to answer any question, because another thing that made me famous for after the 5,300 Alexloop sold is the way that I take care of the after sales procedures. So I do not believe in 99% satisfied clients. I only believe on 100% satisfied clients. So this is the point. But anyway, beside to be a manufacturer, I am a ham. So I am ready to help anybody anytime. So feel free to call me when you want.
Oh, very good. Okay, Alex. I'm gonna move off to camera number. Hang on here. Camera number 1. Get rid of that mic, and I could come talk to you guys over here. And hey, again, I want to remind you guys, less than 400 subscribers away from 38,000. Do that, and you and I will be having lunch with the Packy One Chip Challenge. And I don't know, maybe we'll get on the radio or do something fun. You guys leave a comment and let me know what you want to do if you want to see that. Let's see. Otherwise, cue the music. And I want to ask you guys, or tell you guys, thank you for joining us today. And I hope to see you again next week. I'm not sure who we've got on, but it'll be somebody pretty cool, or we'll do something fun. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already hit the subscribe, please hit the subscribe, hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. This would be a great one to go ahead and share with your friends. Help me hit 38,000. Guys, I will see you next week. Thank you, Alex. Thank you.